You can literally have the most unhinged, random hobby and make money off of it in the wedding industry. High school orchestra kid during the week makes hundreds of dollars on the weekend playing ceremony music with his violin. Like, try me. Comment a thing that you think you can't monetize, and I'll figure a way.
Welcome back to the Venue Underground, where we talk big ideas, real business strategies, and sometimes your wildest hobbies. So here's what happened. I posted a TikTok saying that I could turn literally any hobby into a business in the wedding industry. And I thought I'd get a few funny comments, like maybe a challenge or two. Instead, the comment section exploded. And it wasn't just ideas. It was people hyping up each other's business plans. Total strangers just absolutely hyping each other up. And now some of you are actually launching businesses because of that one post.
This episode is basically brought to you by the internet's creativity. We're reading your top comments, reacting in real time, and giving you a full 30-day launch plan so you can start making money by next month.
So basically, if you left a comment, congratulations, you started a business. And we're about to tell you how to make strangers pay you for it.
These are the most liked comments. And I don't know if you guys have read through these before this very moment, because I know Rachel's looking at comment one, like, what is this?
I will tell you, I read through the comments when I sat down and had this paper on the chair, and I was like, okay.
This person, comment one, had the most likes and actually the most hype comment section, like replying to their comment. It was insane. Everyone was like, this is actually a great idea. And then they were talking about how, like, I think like Tiffany Haddish and Drake used to do this at like bar mitzvahs and stuff. And like, this is actually a gig that people do.
It's a thing.
But this comment one, the most liked comment is, I'm Black. I'll be the one guest of color to add a little razzle dazzle and get the dance floor going.
Rereading this now, I get it. I get it. I went to a wedding recently where I was the only person of pigment, and there was just this expectation that, like, when are you going to get out there and dance? Unfortunately, I can't dance, so it was the chicken dance as a joke that everyone then started doing, which was fun. But
You got them going.
It is a thing. It is a thing.
But look, if you could get paid to do it, lean into it.
Okay.
I don't know. It's essentially a hype squad service. It's like a reception energy booster. It's kind of what the wedding party is supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes people, their besties are just like them and aren't big dancers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Went to another wedding recently where dear friend of mine from an old bar I used to work at, and it just, life happens. Working in the wedding world, like, I know that there's a price per plate for people. So now when I get invited to a wedding, I feel super, super honored. Like, wow, you could have invited anyone or just not invited someone, and you chose to remember me. Like, I haven't seen this person in years. So I was really excited, and I went. And then I realized I was sitting at the table of, like, the fun friends. So still wanted, like, I felt wanted, but it's like, oh, we are here to be the dance floor, because it was mostly, it was a smaller wedding. It was mostly family. So I was trying to figure out, like, very small guest count. I haven't talked to you in a very long time. Why? Oh, because high energy, gonna get the dance floor moving. He did not realize that I was, like, I think like 150 days sober at the time. So my energy level is a little different. And I think I left early. But yes, that is a thing. Having guests or someone there who you know will get the party going. We do see a lot of MCs at weddings.
Yes.
That's a huge thing.
Yeah, this is kind of what I'm thinking of, like MC duties, like definitely something that maybe your DJ isn't going to do if you do like budget DJ.
But here's the thing. Sometimes MCs, sometimes they're amazing, and sometimes they're a little cheesy. Sometimes it's a little... So I think the point of this whole hire, not necessarily a person of color, but a person who is real, you know, I'm just going to not go there. But, you know, somebody who wants to add a little razzle dazzle and they're really good at hyping up the crowd, that could be a more subtle service, you know, if they're not the MC.
I also think there's how to word this. At every
Just do
wedding, there are people who don't know each other. No one guest, except for the couple, the hosts, no one guest knows every single person there. So it's much easier to kind of like, oh, I'm a guest. I'm friends with Gemma. I'm friends with Kate. No one's going to ask questions. It's not like a grilling of how long have you known each other. So it's much easier to get in as a, like, you're the hype man, but no one else knows.
Yes.
You just are there and you kind of like camouflage your way into the group, as opposed to having an MC where it's like the person standing next to the DJ saying, everyone on the floor, put your hands up, put your hands down.
Yeah.
It's like, it's much more casual.
This is a more organic way
Yes.
to do it. Yeah. So how do you get in front of people? How would you, like, let's say this is a business you want to start tomorrow, and I'm going to put this to Gemma because this is something I could totally see you doing.
Me being a hype person?
No, I
Absolutely
know the
not.
sarcasm was through the roof.
Yeah.
I took it as you can see Gemma like wanting a hype person at her wedding. And I was like, dang, Kate.
Yeah, as you're describing it, I did. So my wedding was 60 people during the pandemic, mostly Andrew's family, my small family. But we did, like, as you're describing it, his Uncle Jerry was getting people up on the dance floor.
Yes, Uncle Jerry.
And like I remember him like grabbing the hand of like a college friend of mine and like dancing with her, and we have a photo of that. And like people were talking about like how they had so much fun with Uncle Jerry.
That's fun.
And so like this was all like, you know, natural. So yeah, it was a lot more fun than a DJ being like, everybody get on the dance floor.
I think something like this is all in the marketing of it. So the first ask could be like, all right, who is this service for? Maybe you're a small wedding and it's just your family and their family, and families are kind of dry, and you're like, how do we get some life here? Maybe you have a last minute, it's someone who's like last minute, their fun friend canceled or can't make it. So thinking of what kind of weddings you want to do this for, and that'll help you figure out how to market to that. So like, it's hard. DJs are hard vendors to choose because you can't go to a wedding and hear them play.
Right.
It's a lot of word of mouth. So I think in this situation as well, you're not going to like stand outside on the street busking saying like, hey, hire me to be at your wedding.
Yeah.
But like getting in those forums or the social media where it's like, planning a wedding with your really awkward family, I've got a solution for you. Kind of keep it vague. People will click into that and then see, and then think, this is silly. Oh, wait, this is actually a really good idea.
Yeah. Like maybe you reach out to DJs or planners or venues and just anybody, you know, who wants their, I guess, marketing shtick to be, I can guarantee a full dance floor, you know? Mm-hmm. So just maybe your DJ package comes with this person. A little razzle dazzle.
Yeah, I was thinking like connect with DJs to be like an a la carte item to start. Yeah. Like just before you can launch your own thing, like just start with them, only because working with them would get you the content you need to then advertise your own thing. Also, if you're going to a wedding, use that as your contact opportunity, your content opportunity. Like you're at this wedding, show people what you can do, get that content so you can start posting on social media. And then I would look up different planners in your area and like ask them like, hey, do you have any couples that are really wanting that lively dance floor? I could provide this service for them. And then the planners could then share it with their couples.
That's cool.
What would you charge for this business?
Ooh.
Like, or if you were a client, what would you be willing to pay?
Old Rachel would chart, my fee would be full bar, 2 plates of food, and any song request I want immediately. Override the DJ's power. But no, good question. Flat fee per event, or is it an hourly thing?
Ooh.
Am I going to your whole wedding camouflaging as a guest? There's different packages you can do.
Ooh, you could do different price tiers.
Am I
for
going
sure.
to your whole wedding disguised as a guest and then sitting at a table and mingling?
Yeah.
Or am I just showing up come dancing time? So there's like hourly, or there's, this sounds so bizarre to talk about. You can rent me for the hour.
Yeah.
Or it's like a daily.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking the same thing. Like you could do hourly if you're expecting them to be there the entire time. But then if you're just wanting them for like, hey, dinner's over at blah, 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 and the dancing starts at this time, then I was like thinking like $400, $500 flat fee.
Yeah. I think that's a reasonable rate. And that's probably more than you would get from, you know, a shift, you know, pretty much anywhere. So I think that's a great business. And let's say you do, 4 events a month, that's, $2,000 that you're making. So, and the margins are, great because you're not really spending money. It's more opportunity cost, but
Yeah.
you're, I guess if you want to pay to advertise, but social media, if you can get organic advertising is great. I don't know. If I had it in me, maybe I would give this a try, but I do not. I do not have this in me at all.
Yeah.
It could be
This
fun.
is not for
can't.
me, but definitely for the right person.
Sober Rachel could never.
Uncle Jerry sounds like needs to get in on this actually.
Yeah, he does.
So the next comment, I had several people comment this on my video. I think trying to be a little like snarky, because I said, I can turn any hobby into a wedding business. Try me. And they were like, oh, my hobby is scrolling on TikTok. And I'm like, okay, you know what? I got a business idea for you. You're really good at knowing what hits on TikTok. So wedding day content creation. Boom.
That is a huge thing that I'm slowly starting to see it where I don't need full videography that's going to give me an hour-long video or a 20-minute video. Beautiful to watch. No knocking the videographers, because there are days you go back and look at that.
Like on
nice.
anniversaries and things like that.
And
or
it's
like
nice
when you
to
have
see
kids.
the day in motion.
Yeah.
But we're seeing a lot of content creators who are just doing like reels or TikToks or quick blips, and then everyone's taking videos, everyone's taking pictures, but who's going to sit and link it all together in a short 30-second, 30-second long. How long are TikToks? I don't watch TikTok.
They are anywhere from like 5 seconds to several minutes, but like I think most of them are like 30 seconds or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, a content creator will get your highlights and condense it to that short amount of time.
Yeah.
Services, like since it's a abbreviated service, it does tend to be more cost efficient than a full videography setup. But that is a thing that we are seeing.
Definitely reach out to photographers, because even for styled shoots, they're bringing content creators to capture content of what they're doing and doing trends.
Do you think that photographers, and especially photographers that offer videography services, would be not super into this idea? Thoughts and feelings?
I think the fun thing with this idea is it goes beyond just the couple, because I think the vendors want the content creators too. We were just talking about DJs and how it's hard to market yourself as a DJ because clients don't get to go to parties and they can't just stalk you and show up at events that you're playing. So if you had a content creator, even if it was once, twice, or maybe once per event, that way you can keep your DJs are so focused on playing music and getting the party going. They're not sitting there filming what they're doing. So vendors might even like this. That's a great way to get a start if you're trying to think of how do I get my feet wet in this world before taking on the crazy burden and expectation of capturing someone's wedding day. Start with the vendors. Follow a DJ, film them as they're setting up, breaking down. They always want to show off their equipment, show off how lively the dance floor is. Get in with photographers, do the behind the scenes. Like everyone needs pictures of what they're doing or content of what they're doing to show what they're doing, if that makes sense.
Yes.
Yeah. That's kind of what I was thinking, is like this is less of a thing for clients. I mean, unless they do have like a social media following or they want to do that. Like we definitely have had some clients that after their event, I'm seeing them on TikTok because they are trying to get into social media. But this, I was definitely seeing it from more of a vendor perspective of you're a photographer, you're taking care of your clients all day, but who's going to help you take care of your business? And so they're going to provide like behind the scenes content for you. And then this is something that, it would be amazing in the wedding industry because you have all these vendors that you can create content for, but that content then creates a portfolio and then you can become a content creator beyond the wedding industry.
I like that one.
Yeah. That's actually, I had never thought of that perspective. Because like as a venue, when we get tagged in videos and content creators exist. So we get tagged in a lot of videos and those videos already they're showing our services, right? Because we are the venue. But a photographer, I feel like they don't get a lot of behind the scenes content or a DJ or anything. So that's actually really a good way of working around that.
That's for anyone who asks the question or cares about like, okay, photographer, your pictures are beautiful, but how are you as a person? Are you going to be fun to work with? Are you chill, or are you like 1, 2, 3, smile?
You have to love your
You have to
photographer.
love
Yeah.
your vendors for sure. Your
You're with them
DJs.
all day.
Is this the DJ who's gonna every 10 seconds go DJ Rachel, Rachel, Rachel?
I mean, I want that. I actively want that. So
So it's fun to see, like you're saying, it's fun to see it gets you insight to who the vendor is and not just what they produce.
So these comments made this list because they were among the most liked comments and had the most comments, replies, I guess. They had the most people
Interactions?
interactions. They had the most people talking about them. And this person put that they paid $35 to a witch to make it sunny for her birthday. Could that witch I don't know why we're talking about witches here on the Venue Underground today. But she actually paid, for this weather miracle or something. And people were into it. Like, there apparently is a market. I learned something new. There is a market for this. So a weather magic package. What do you guys think? Is there a business here?
I feel like this is definitely a before the event situation. This isn't like a vendor at your wedding, but in the planning process, if you connect, if you market to the right audience and say, hey, I will put a hex on your worst enemy's, wedding day, if you know when that is, or I will, I like to think of it more as
A hex on your ex for your wedding?
An X hex.
An ex.
My brain kind of went to doing more of an activity for your event. Like, so many people want, tattoo station, photo booth, call this phone number and leave us a message. They want activities. And I feel that there are not a lot of super original activities anymore. So something like this, to my mind, comes more of an activity. Someone is coming and they are, donate $1 to the bride and groom, and we can put like a hex on your ex, or do something funny, especially since we do like a lot of Halloween and spooky. Yeah, like a love spell, that would be cute. I don't know, something along that lines, where they are coming in and they're providing just like a fun activity, entertainment for your guests. They're not here for the whole event. They're just here for a portion of it.
I've seen like tarot card pulling.
Yes.
At weddings. Something fun. I like to say during cocktail hour, your guests don't all know each other and the drinks haven't hit yet. So something for them to see and do, whether it's like, and that's, obviously where we see like memory tables or pictures of weddings in your family, things like that. But just like you said, some of those activities, caricatures, fun, funky things that are interactive, your guests want to take part in. Tarot card pulling, financial contribution to the honeymoon fund, and I'll put a hex on your ex, or a love blessing for the couple, something like that. That is, it's original, it's cute. And the thing is, the guests at your wedding know you and know how you are. If you're fun people who are into the supernatural, if that's your thing, then your guests are down for that because they're down with you. So this is perfect. There is a market for everything.
Yeah, a quirky little activity.
Yeah.
Okay, I did not put this on here, but there were several comments, just different people saying their interest was bugs. They're into bugs. Right. I know. Stay with me, man, because it's interesting. Because this whole thing, like talking about like hex on your ex and like things like that.
Please relate this to bugs.
I will relate this to bugs.
Okay.
Because I've seen several like zoos that will do, like, for Valentine's Day, they'll name a cockroach after your ex if you donate to the zoo. So what if they have some sort of, this is moving on, I guess this will be business idea number 4. If your hobby is bugs, you monetize that by doing some sort of cocktail hour, or maybe later in the night when people have had a few drinks, some sort of, donate to the honeymoon fund, and we'll name one of these things after your ex. Or if it's a cute thing, we can name it after someone you love. But basically taking that zoo concept of the Valentine's Day zoo concept and making that bug related.
Okay.
She hates it.
No,
There's something for everyone.
there is. I will need a minute with that one, Gemma.
Well, for the for the bugs, I wasn't thinking that. I immediately thought of my tattoo artist. She makes she calls them burials. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Burials.
How do you spell it?
Like
Burial?
yeah, I just don't know
Okay.
how to say that. Burials.
Burial, yeah.
It just sounds funny coming out of my mouth, but burials, and they're like think of a pretty gold frame,
Yeah.
like what we have, the one that says like press for champagne.
Yeah.
And then in it there's some florals, and then there's like a bug that is like either in resin or like a bug shell.
I've seen like
or
butterflies
whatever.
like
yeah,
on
like
display.
butterflies.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so she makes those and she sells them in the shop that she works at, and then also decorates the shop with them. But if you're a couple that's really into bugs, I mean, I don't know how, if you really like bugs, I don't know how you feel about buried bugs, but they could
It's
have them
nature.
displayed
It's
as
the
like
circle of life.
centerpieces. Like if you are like, I don't want traditional florals and traditional decor,
Okay.
I want these as my decorations.
It's witchy as hell and I love it.
Yeah, like I don't know very many people that do it. I that's why she was the very first person that came to mind. And so it's like, oh, what if you could get someone that could make quite a few of these pieces?
Yeah.
Or if you are super into bugs, again, activity, have somebody come, and just how we have live painters or someone's doing like
Rachel's
pressed
face.
florals, like they're making their bug burial,
Okay.
you know.
I was trying to figure
Off
out
to
like
the
what
side.
are they making? But it's
They're
the burial
making, they're like
yes.
they're making like the art.
Okay. That's
Where are
cool.
you going with this?
No,
Yeah,
I
I don't know. I'm not into bugs.
Yeah, it's
but-
not my thing, but I could see, and based on the comments, several people, this is their hobby, is bugs.
halfway
Yeah.
through this podcast, I'm gonna it's gonna hit me a phenomenal way to incorporate this. I'm not there yet. Not that it can't be done.
That's fine. You know, it's not your thing.
Bugs. No, because I know there is something cool. I love the centerpiece idea. I think that's awesome.
I think that would be
Your centerpiece
beautiful.
doesn't have to be, you
Yeah.
know, just a table number and some candles, but it also doesn't need to be some massive, elaborate, crazy thing. Make it personal, make it you. If you're bug people, you out here being bug people.
Oh, there was another one, and it was people who have a lot of houseplants. And they're like, how do I turn that? How do I make them earn their keep? Because I'm spending all this money on taking care of these plants. And I'm like, okay,
Easy.
easy.
Propagate them as wedding favors.
That's
Oh, that's a good
cute.
idea.
What were
That's
you-
not
what
even
were you
where I
gonna-
was
what were
going
you
with
gonna
it.
say?
I think you were thinking decor centerpiece.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah, but propagate so many on my community buy nothing when it's Wish Wednesday, which it's today. People will comment like, "Hey, wishing for plant cuttings," and then like at the plant shop down by us, they have a little stand that's like, "Put a cutting, take a cutting."
There's
that's
something so
fun.
romantic
Yeah.
about that. I love it.
Yeah,
I
so I
love
like
it.
that as a favorite idea. That's nice,
Fun.
especially if you are like the bride and groom that are into plants. Like you're
Mhm.
giving your guests things that you grew at home or whatever.
I just think it's nice to have, florals are amazing, and you could even, incorporate live plants and florals. But I also just love the idea of just live plants, so
Yeah.
rent them out. They're just something so lush and just nice about it. And I think a lot of traditional florists don't really have that as something they can offer. So you could either partner up with a florist to offer that as a rental, or just be your own rental service and bring out your giant monstera, and ferns galore, and just make the whole place, like, think how pretty that would be at Main Street.
Yeah.
Specifically. Like, it's an industrial venue, and just to have like the greenery and like the beauty of that. I don't know. I just think that would be really good. And I think more cost effective than florals. I think for maybe $1,000, you bring out all your house plants for the night, for the day. And that's significantly cheaper than florals for the couple. But for the person who's providing the plants, that's, $1,000 of income that you don't really have to do much for. I like the propagation too.
yeah,
Super
That's cute.
That's like, so, oh, I love it, because especially if it's like, let's say you propagate it from a plant that the couple has or something.
Yeah,
You're
I like that from the couple that they have the plant and then
Couple gives you a plant, you propagate it. You have little bud vases.
Oh my God.
And then that even grows into maybe you partner with someone who does like script or personalizing. So now we've, as place guards, you have propagated the couples plant. That's your business. And you've partnered with someone who writes Gemma table 1, Kate table 2 on the little jar. There's so many vendors that can connect together from this one idea of, I think I want to propagate someone's plants for them.
Our final wedding business that we're going to talk about before we get to our big 30-day startup plan for the most liked comment is choreographing people's wedding fights.
Gemma, what are your thoughts on that? Gemma, that's such a beautiful smile.
Thank you.
You're so good at smiling.
When you don't have anything nice to say.
This could be for the couple who likes the element of surprise. They are out there, they are wild, but I think it's cool. The first time I read this, when it said choreograph people's wedding fights, I was thinking like between guests. That could get crazy because some people think there's an actual fight and then fighting ensues. But I love it as like the first dance situation. It's just goofy.
This could be especially great for people who are really into like the Renaissance Festival, or people who are really into Star Wars and want to do lightsaber, like just some sort of, and it could even be like towards the end of the evening when everyone's nice and toasty, and then all of a sudden the lightsabers come out and there's like an actually scripted kind of combat.
I didn't
based
even
on the
think
comments,
of that, but that's cool. That
based on
makes
the
sense.
comments, like there is apparently a need and want for this. People were just blowing my mind on this post, and that's really why we're doing this whole episode. The episode that we were supposed to be recording today was a totally different topic, and we just added this in because we're like, okay, this is what people are really resonating with. It really was less of a comment section and more almost like a group project. People were coming up with ideas. They were hyping each other up.
No, it was nice to see all the comments and see. It was interesting to see what people put, what they were suggesting. That's how Andrew got his little idea. So
I didn't even put that in here because I don't want anybody to steal his idea. I specifically did not, even though I really, really wanted to, because it was the one that resonated with people the most.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, someone commented back to you that they were gonna start it or whatever.
I've had several people in my DMs, like not only in the comments, but in my DMs saying they're starting specific businesses, and it's mostly that one.
Yeah.
But they're starting it because of that post, and that blows my mind that like me saying, hey, you can turn literally any hobby into a wedding business caused that much of a reaction. Why do you all think this resonated with so many people the way it did?
Well, I think everyone has an idea. When you open the floor to, if you have a hobby, if you have a dream, a vision, a thing you like to do, we can make it a business. That connects to everyone. Everyone has a hobby, even if it's sitting down and taking naps. Like everyone has a hobby or something that they
Professional
like. So
napper.
I'll snooze at your wedding just to spite your officiant for you if that's what you want. I'll do it. But that connects to everyone because everyone has an idea. So then they want to listen. No, I don't believe you. How do I make this idea? Oh, wow, there is a plan. There is a system in place. I think that's what gets people jazzed about being creative.
People also just want to make more money.
Mm-hmm.
Like people want money. You can never have enough of it, I guess. And so if you can do something that you enjoy,
That's the key, I think.
make a little extra, and then maybe stop doing what your 9-to-5 is that isn't bringing you so much joy.
Because how rare is
It's
it to be
great.
able to get paid to do things that you're actually organically interested in? Like you've already taken up sword choreography as a hobby, and then you get paid to do it. I think they're meeting needs emotionally for people.
Are we about to see a mass exodus from the corporate world and everyone just working for themselves?
I mean,
I love it. I
don't hate it. I don't hate it. How do you get that first client? Now that you have the idea, now that you've been kind of given affirmation by the think tank that exists in that comment section, that there's a need for this business, what would you do to get those first clients?
Having a clear vision of who you are and what you're your business is and what problem you're solving will help you know who to market to. So I think streamlining who are you for, and that's who you know to go reach. And using social media, using all the free tools you can, posting about yourself, posting your vision, all that stuff. Using all the free tools while you can to get your name out there, but it's important to know who you are first, because then otherwise you'll have your first client, and without a clear sense of what you're doing and who this is for, then it's like, now you don't fumble the bag. You have to know what you're doing with what you've worked so hard to acquire, which is your first client.
So when I was first starting, it really helped me to reach out to vendors because I was starting a wedding venue, and vendors want to be the first to know things so they can recommend new venues to clients. And they're the people who first told me about styled shoots and first told me about essentially the concept of doing the service for free for a little bit to get that content so that you can then have it to share. There's a difference between seeing a video of some guy doing a sword fight in his living room versus seeing a guy do the sword fight in the middle of a crowded dance floor at a wedding. Which one is going to go viral? The one, in the living room, obviously. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. But, you need the impact. You need to see proof of concept. And so people don't want to see a picture that you took at home. They want to see you actually in action. Get the professional content of you doing the actual thing. Or it doesn't have to be professional content. It just has to be content of an example of you doing it in the location that you're going to be doing the thing in. So at an actual wedding. So it's not just you in your backyard sword fighting. But the first gig, getting that first booking, is always the scariest. You're taking a leap to start this business, right? And you're saying, okay, I'm putting myself out there. I think I'll make money doing this. Who's going to pay me? And sometimes it's crickets at first. And you're just like, why did I do this? I look so stupid. And a lot of entrepreneurship, especially in the beginning, is looking stupid and being embarrassed and being like, I made a mistake. And it's once you get those first bookings and the first reviews come in and you get to see people happy with your services and you get to feel that you've made a difference, that it all starts to click. But it is a leap of faith, for sure.
Information is free. I've received emails from the most random vendors of all time. Maybe I respond, maybe I don't, maybe I will never, just thank you for introducing yourself. One of them in particular was a magician who reached out and said, hey, I know you work for the venue. I'm a magician. If anyone ever asks for a magician during cocktail hour or for corporate events, here's my information. And I said, okay, thank you so much. I'll put you in my little Rolodex of things, because I had a walkthrough come in saying, we're thinking of some sort of entertainment for our cocktail hour. What can you think of? And I was like, well, we just had this magician reach out. That's a thing. So just getting your name in the mouths of people who share ideas. And even if I'm not going to every client saying, do you want a magician? Do you want a magician? I know a guy. If a client asks, we had our meeting one time where the family came in for an impromptu tour, and they were wondering if we knew a mariachi band. And I happened to have a picture I had taken of this mariachi band's business card from an event that they did. And I love the music so much. I was just crying, and it was weird because I was supposed to be in the office, but I was on the floor crying because I love mariachi music so much. But if you get your name in front of people who are asked for opinions and asked for recommendations, we won't necessarily recommend if we don't know you because our name is on it. Our name is backing you there, but introducing yourself to vendors. If you're the hype person, introducing yourself to DJs, that's good. I just wanted to share that too.
Yeah, making the connections where you think they would fit best, the plant person, reach out to a florist, make a connection there, because what they can't provide, maybe you can. So where do those connections come up organically and start reaching out? It's going to be a lot of reach outs. You're not just going to get business right away.
And not every similar vendor is competition. Just what you're saying with if you're thinking of the plant propagation, reaching out to a florist, at first my mind went to, Well, no, because then the florist would just do it. But maybe that's something they can't do. They deal with their flowers. They have their whole system. You're talking about a whole separate service that could link together, because a couple might come to that florist asking, can you do this thing? That florist says no, but I know a guy.
But every vendor is so different though, because like when you said reach out to a florist immediately, like, yes, that makes sense. But I also want people to be prepared for that rejection, and not just rejection, but like, how dare you rejection? Because like, I feel like some florists who either offer that service or don't like that service because like the plant rentals, because only cut florals are allowed at weddings. Otherwise, you're a threat to my business. Like, people get real weird and real protective of their businesses, where I think it's a really good synergy. And a lot of florists will be receptive, you know, and say, oh, wow, that is a great way for me to expand my business and the services I offer. But also like we were talking about in a previous episode, like, you need a thick skin, because businesses are people's babies. That's a theme that's come up over and over again. It's not just a job that they're working. And so when you reach out to a florist and say, hey, I'd like to, you know, let you know that I'm offering this service, it could bring up this whole mama bear situation. I mean, people get real cranky, real cranky. So it's just, you're going to be reaching out, and you either are going to be left unread, and you're going to be yelled at essentially several times before you get any sort of positive response. But those positive responses hopefully make it worth it. It's up to you to decide. The choice is yours. So with that, now what we're going to do is give you a 30-day business launch plan for one of our most liked comments. And this was a nurse. She commented and essentially said, and even though it's not really technically a hobby, like, nursing isn't a hobby, it's a career, and it's a really amazing career. But Casey23, her comment was that she's a nurse. How does she monetize that in the wedding industry? So we have a 30-day launch plan for your nurse / wedding business, and it is a infusion hydration station, essentially drip IVs for hangovers, for, you know, all the things. Like, let's say tomorrow you want to start working on this. You could start making money within a month. If week 1, you do all the business and legal. You spend the first week registering as an LLC, sole proprietorship. You check IV hydration licensing in your state. You might need a nurse practitioner or a doctor to be able to do some of the prescriptions, but you need to check with your, you know, licensing in your state. You need to create a liability waiver template and a contract. So yeah, so week 1 is essentially making sure what you're doing is legal, making sure that you are properly insured, that you have all your ducks in a row. Spend that first week really thinking like an attorney and making sure that everything that you're doing is
Allowed.
So week 2 is really where you want to start focusing on your branding and get together your packages and your pricing. So let's say it's the whole wedding party, and maybe it's the morning of the wedding. Preventative. And it's not just for hangovers, but it's for just general hydration, B12 for energy.
Yeah.
You know, it can make you feel great. I've actually used an IV hydration service, I think twice, because I had a really bad stomach problem and I was really dehydrated, right? And so I was, you know, everything was happening to me. And my ER copay to go get an IV in the ER would have been more than the cost of having somebody come to my house and do my IV. I love the idea of having like a morning after package, or even at the end of the night at the reception, and they like pay per person on site at the venue, like a recovery lounge at the end of the night.
What if you had a recovery lounge at the end of the night, wintertime wedding, 200 people were just in a room dancing and coughing on each other. Everyone gets vitamin C before they go home.
I love it.
This is your wedding favor. Please be healthy.
Don't get COVID.
Oh my God.
Don't spread it.
But really, I mean, you could do like $200, $250 a person, which is kind of discounted. Like, I think mine, when I got it, was, I think $400 because I have a $500 ER copay. So, yeah, if you do like $250 a person, do like a group rate for 5+ people. People could add B12 shots, electrolyte boosts. I think they can also do like Pepto-Bismol.
Okay.
Yeah.
We
for
don't know the
nausea.
caterers either. Take this.
Things with all the weird food, things that
Yeah.
happen. But yeah, so there's lots of different, you come up with your packages, you define your business, you define your brand. And really that's what takes you through week 2. Week 3, you start working on finalizing your brand, do your website, or if you're not doing a website just yet and you just want to create a social media page, do that, but have some kind of logo. It could be happily hydrated ever after.
I was going to say happily IV after.
Oh my God. Happily IV after.
Still don't have the bugs yet.
That's okay. You never will.
I'm
and
not
that's
gonna,
okay.
but
And that's okay.
it's coming.
This also could be for bachelor and bachelorette.
Yes. Basically, you need to start this business in Nashville.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, or Tucson.
Tucson.
Is that a
bachelorette
thing?
destination?
Hopefully, Phoenix maybe. Like Arizona is a big.
Is it Scottsdale?
Yeah, Scottsdale maybe.
The golf and the resorts and the spas and all that stuff?
Yeah, Arizona is like a big bachelor destination,
Huh.
and in Nashville, yeah.
Interesting. So it's not Vegas anymore. I know it's Nashville. I've not heard of Arizona, but this is also, I think, a good business where offering free services in the beginning or maybe at cost services is a good thing just to get your name out there so that you can also get the pictures, because I'm sure the photographer would love to take pictures of this hilarious room with people with IVs.
Yeah.
It's a good photo op. It's also, content creators are gonna love it.
Everyone likes to be the first to know something or share something. So even though if say I were a planner, obviously this is not my service, I'm not getting any money from this, but I'm a great planner because I recommended or referred you to this awesome thing. Mm-hmm. And when your friends ask you, hey, how'd you hear about this? I heard this from Rachel, my planner. Oh, Rachel, your planner seems like she's got so many great ideas. And it's a win-win in that situation.
I think 2 ideas: connecting with bartenders.
Ooh.
But then the logistics side of me was like, oh, well, there shouldn't be over serving.
I know.
If they're doing their job, you shouldn't need this,
Yes.
That's where my brain went. I also don't drink, so I'm like the worst person to suggest any sort of IV situation. If you're doing the bachelor and bachelorette route, where are those destinations? Where do people go near you? Where have your friends gone? And then reach out to those rental companies and those Airbnbs.
I was just about to say lodging.
That.
Yeah.
I would look at the lodging aspect of where people are going, because this is a mobile thing. You're not going to have a storefront. You're not going to be parked up in one venue. You're taking all of your stuff with you. Yeah. So where are people going?
Hotels and places always have the honeymoon package or the party package or things like that. Might be a little trickier with Airbnbs and independently rented spaces, but Airbnb does the experiences now. Mm-hmm. Have you seen the ads on TV for that? So it's you book the Airbnb, but I also want to learn how to make croissants while I'm in Paris. So here's this croissant making class. When people are booking, if you're a larger space and you're renting out to groups or party groups, or there's a couple Airbnbs in Ellicott City, for example, that are often rented in tandem with the venue. Having that on your you list it as an experience, not that you, the host, are doing it, but just here's the contact for these people. They do this thing. If you're here in town for a wedding, if you're doing a bachelorette thing.
Yeah, because if it's an add-on, right, they might be more likely to book your Airbnb if it has some sort of access to this add-on, which is interesting. After that, you would really do your soft launch and first clients in week 4. So you're going to want to do some kind of social media before and after, do some reels, do some TikToks about, how much better they feel. This is me before, this is me after. You could do a giveaway. I think that would be real fire.
Yeah.
Doing a giveaway would be great. And in exchange for testimonials.
At a wedding show.
Yes.
Go to a wedding show that, or an open house, and even planners do that. You'll get a discount off of their services. So you could do a raffle or something.
So that is your 30-day launch plan. And really it's less than 30 days because after week 3, you can start taking bookings and making that money. I love it.
So easy. So simple.
It seems so easy. You just gotta, actually do it. Actually doing it, I think, is the biggest challenge. I do want to do one other one really quickly because this comment touched my heart. I don't know why, but there was an adorable older woman who said she wanted to rent herself out as a grandma. She's like, how do I do that? And I just love it. I think it's so cute. It's something that, like, especially in, like, I'll see at pride parades, like people who are like free grandma hugs. They'll wear a t-shirt that says that. And there's all these people whose grandparents are no longer in their lives, or, you know, let's say their parents, you know, they don't have contact anymore and they still want that sort of grandmotherly or parental presence, and they get the hugs and everyone's crying, and it's just like so emotional and so cute. So I absolutely think there is a market for Rent a Grandma, and the comments on our TikTok also prove that. People were like, yes, I could have used you. I could have absolutely used you at my wedding. So for this one, really quickly, I wanted to go over my 4-week plan for starting a Rent a Grandma business in the wedding industry. I think week 1, you really need to define the grandma type, right? Like, are you going to be a sweet nana? Are you going to be just like a glamma, like just a sassy, I don't know, Blanche Devereaux kind of grandma? Like, what kind of vibes are you going to offer? Or are you just the kind of person who's like, I am only one kind of grandma? Or are you just like a dance floor queen? You're going to get out there and razzle dazzle the dance floor and get everyone going. Like, define what service you're actually offering. Week 2, you need to brand it. You could do like borrow a grandma, glamma weddings, and then really set your packages. Like we were talking about earlier for one of the other businesses, do you just need a grandma there for ceremony and pictures? Maybe charge like $300 for that. Or do you want them there for, you know, the ceremony, reception, and cocktail hour? I think $1,000 for the night is something that you could charge for that. You could charge more for toasts. If you want her to give a toast,
Oh, yeah.
that, you know, you could charge extra for. In week 3, then reach out to photographers and planners and offer to be in styled shoots and just start creating content. Post a TikTok or a reel that says like, POV, you hired a grandma and she stole the show, and it's just you at a wedding, you know, just being amazing. Or maybe something emotional where you're giving someone free hugs, and just show kind of the energy that you'll bring to their wedding. I just think it's such a great idea. I love it. So I really love that this episode was very much a group project. The internet just kind of, I don't even know, like made it happen because people resonated so much with that post. So hopefully we'll have more posts in the future that resonate with people, and we can do full podcast episodes on them.
All right, your weird hobby could be someone's dream wedding upgrade. This comment section proved it, and now you've got the first steps and the marketing moves to actually get booked.
So take that idea and put it out there. You do not need the perfect website or business cards. Does anyone do business cards anymore?
I don't like business cards.
No, but you just got to do one gig, tell one person, post one video, and you can refine it as you go.
And when you do, tag the venue underground so we can cheer you on, connect with you and the people who might need it, what you're offering, and maybe even feature you in a future episode.
But before we wrap, I want to tell you that next week we're diving into something that every business owner needs to understand, and we've called it the trust economy. We're going to talk about what happens when your reputation becomes your currency, for better or worse.
I am especially excited for this one because we're not just covering the good side. We're going into the shady stuff that nobody warns you about, like review hostage situations where a client holds your feedback hostage until you do what they want.
Are you really excited? Or
I
is
am actually excited because we kind of, yes.
I got some tea.
We have some tea.
Yep, we will talk about the sneaky, the bad faith comments that can totally wreck your credibility if you don't have a plan to deal with them.
So if you've ever lost sleep over your online reputation or just wondered how to make it work for you instead of against you, you're going to want to listen in. We'll see you next week for the trust economy on the Venue Underground. I love it. Okay. That was long.
I talked too much.
We had so many things to say. I'm excited. This review one is going to, part of me is like, do we censor it or do we just go all out?
I don't think we do. I don't think we censor it. Obviously, we would change names. We'll have to give the event a new name. We talked about this at the meeting. You're better than me because it's like when you say something that's a lie, that pisses me off.
Yeah.
And everything you're complaining about, hell yeah, I would complain about it too, except for the fact that None of that is accurate. Like, if that were the case,
If it were real, you would be mad.
if that were the case, then yeah, you're right. Unfortunately, it's not the case, so now you're wrong.